Hello? I can't hear you. Babe, babe. See, see. You want me to leave and come back?
I got it. Now you can hear me.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
I did have to use my headphones last time. I don't know what's going on with these things. These are my work headphones, but they're gonna have to work today. All right. So thank you so much. How are you doing today?
Good, good. Trying to play with
Good.
my light. Look, trying
Okay,
to
go
play with
ahead.
my light.
Go ahead. I got mine ready
Okay,
too.
okay.
All right. I was trying to get an upload of everything, the pictures of your books and everything. And yeah, we just having some little difficulties today, but we're not gonna let that stop us.
Absolutely
So
not.
that's right. That's right. So again, I want to welcome you to the show, Miss Gladys Stocks.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And I'll let you introduce your pen name to everyone. But thank you all for joining us today. We're going to talk with Miss Gladys, and she's going to tell us about her book, Never Would Have Made It. And I did finish your story. And yes, God knew. God knew. So without further ado, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gladys um, Stocks on Facebook, Marie Stocks, pen name JM Sims. Um, I decided to go by JM Sims because I wanted to have a little bit of anonymity and I didn't want people to know like right away that it was me that had written the book. And so like I decided, okay, like what can I do? What can I use, shall I say, that I know who it is and it's has significant meaning to me. So J.M. Sims is not random. The J represents my grandmother. Her name was Jessie. The M represents my middle name, which is Marie. And then the Sims actually goes back to my grandmother as well. Her um, last name before she got married was Simmons. So I just cut it down to Sims. So that's where J.M. Sims comes from.
Okay, wow. So I do. It does have meaning. Okay, okay, I see
Mm-hmm.
that now. So okay, you didn't just pick some random name. So
Nope.
definitely,
Nope.
right. I got you because I know I with myself when I wrote my books, I thought about using a pen name, and I was like, no, do I want to hide? Like you said, you don't want that anonymity. You don't want to share everything quite just yet.
Right,
But I was
right.
like, you know what? I said, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna use my name. I just got my name back. I'm gonna use my
Mm-hmm.
name. Just go for
Mm-hmm.
it. So, but I
Right.
did. But I definitely understand. I definitely understand.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, ma'am. So now is this your first? Was that your first book?
Yes, yes. So this was
Mm-hmm.
actually my first book. 16 years in the making. It took me 16
Mm-hmm.
years to get up the courage to write this book. I really
Mm-hmm.
struggled with, just putting words to paper and
Mm-hmm.
reliving memories and just, having the courage to say, you know what, okay, it is what it is. I'm putting it out there and whatever happens,
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Right. Okay, I got you. I definitely understand that. So So go ahead and I guess if you want to maybe elaborate, I read the book. It was a short read, but I like short reads. But it was a very intense short read from.
So basically, I wrote a book, um, Never Would Have Made It, How Overcoming
Yes.
Grief and Loss Saved My Life. And
Mhm.
it's basically it's my life story.
Mhm.
Some parts of my story, shall I say.
Right.
Um, I decided to disclose the parts of my background and my history and my childhood, my upbringing that I felt like really played a part in
Mhm.
what caused me to ultimately end up in a relationship where my 3-year-old son was murdered as a result of that
Right.
relationship.
Right. So you didn't make excuses, but you still explain and give a background of as to where you started from to where you know what led up to that, and people need to know that they need to know how a young girl can grow up and then and then have children and then go through something like that and how that came to play. So they needed to know that. They needed to know that backstory.
I felt like it was important. I felt like it's one of those things that you don't hear talked about enough,
No.
and it should be because it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It
Right.
happens in every community. It happens
Mm-hmm.
regardless of, racial demographics,
Mm-hmm.
financial status.
Right.
It happens in the rich households, the
Right.
poor households. It happens in, a lot of households, and it's not talked about enough, and I just felt like this this happened to me for a reason, and it was meant it was meant to happen to me. It was meant for me to share my story and my experience with others in the hopes that maybe someone else will also have the courage to share their experience as well.
Yes. Okay. And yes, we did have a few little technical difficulties, but again, I'm glad you were able to stay on and continue on so that they could hear you. See, so like I said, we're not gonna let whatever his name. We're not even gonna call his name. We're not gonna let it stop us. So
No,
we're gonna
it's
keep going
okay.
on because
It's
the people
okay.
need to hear your story. They need to hear your story. So we're gonna continue on with that. So as I was reading your book, and I was like, okay, she's when you were a child and you went through that in the beginning, and with a family member. And I know that had to be difficult. I know that
It
had to be difficult.
it was extremely difficult, and it really altered my mindset, my everything when it came to men from a
Right.
very young age. That distrust, just
Hmm.
never really fully been able to trust any man,
Right.
stemmed from what the examples that I had, you know.
Of course, I can only imagine, and being it was a family member. I know, but it's good that you still had your father and your grandfather, so you still had some good men in your life to show you that there is
Absolutely.
hope, right? So that was a
Yeah,
blessing there. Yeah, that
absolutely.
definitely was a blessing. So I know you went on, and after that, you went on, and then you eventually started dating and meeting the young men and going through things. There was a lot of us young when we were young. I got married at 20, but but still I dated my ex-husband up until I got 20, 14 to
Mm,
20. So I
right.
similar, so you go through these things and you want to make them happy. You want to you do different things and you make those choices. And I I know, and people say, well, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, but
It's so much easier to
mhm.
throw stones
Mhm.
at a glass house.
Right. Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Yes.
It's so much easier to say what you should have, would have, could have done in a situation, but
Mhm.
you never know what you're gonna do until you're in that situation. Like I was
Exactly.
one of those women that said, "Oh, I would never be in an abusive relationship. I would never allow someone to talk down to me. I would never allow someone to mistreat me." And
Mhm.
then
And then you just
reality is, you go through these experiences and you're
mhm.
meant to learn something from them. You know,
Right. Exactly.
it's all
Yes.
about what you take from experiences in life. Life is going life.
Right. Life
There's
be life, and it's not gonna stop
right.
until you leave
There's
this earth.
nothing you can
Mhm.
do about that. but you can
Exactly.
control how you react to things. You can control how it affects you, the hold that it has on you, things of that nature. All of those things are in
Hmm.
your control.
Right, exactly, exactly. So you just got to keep on going through, taking every day, one step at a time, and just keep going through life and trying to do the best that you can, you know.
Absolutely.
Right, right. So I know as you went on, and then I know you eventually met your first son's father, and kind of give us a little bit of a background as to when you made it to that place in your life.
So we actually met in high school originally, and then
Hmm.
we didn't start dating, until years later.
Right,
And it was interesting. He was one of those men that he liked women. He
right.
had to
Hmm.
have a few women on deck.
we we know a
It
lot
was
of
just
those.
right. It was just in his nature.
Hmm.
And I don't I can't say we were ever really serious. I think
Hmm.
it was just one of those things of let's just see what happens, let's just see where things go.
Right, go
And
with the flow
then
kind of thing.
boom. And then
Right.
boom I got then boom I got
Right.
pregnant.
Exactly. Mother nature.
like
Nature
whoop,
happened.
like whoop,
Right.
here's a baby.
Exactly.
you know. And
Exactly.
but there was never really a relationship, per se. It was just more
Hmm.
so we hung out, things
Right. Okay.
happened,
Yeah, I
things
got you.
happened,
We've
you
all
know.
been young, and I got you. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then,
Yeah. So
it
then you.
just, progressed from there. And then,
Right.
years went by. And
Hmm.
then I had my middle son, Jabari. And
Right.
he,
Yeah.
my baby was meant to be here, but I can
Right.
honestly say my baby was the result of a 2-night stand. Because I
Right.
promise you, him and his father and I were only together twice.
Right. Well, you're not
Like
the
I'm
first, and
gonna
you're
say
not gonna be
back
the last. You
I'm,
know,
I'm gonna say
in
back in the
this
day, I was probably what they call fertile myrtle.
life. Right.
You look at me, you might get me pregnant.
Okay. So you close, blink right quick, and whoop, there go a baby.
Listen, I'm right. I'm just saying. So
Right.
we were together twice, and then boom,
Mm,
I found out I was
right.
pregnant.
Oh my
And
goodness.
he had a whole nother thing going that I didn't even know about.
Mm,
But
okay.
he actually had me and another girl pregnant at the same time.
Oh
And
wow. I know that.
so our
Mm,
sons were born 2 months apart.
okay. Right.
Now, what's interesting is as much as he took me through hell during my pregnancy and swore up and down that my son wasn't his, and
Right.
it could have been anybody's, and just
Hmm.
how they do all types of
Right.
stuff. He said, "Oh,
Hmm.
how do I know you're not sleeping with your other baby father, things of that
Right.
nature?"
It's
And I
not
was like, "Boy, bye."
mine.
you know
Right.
and
Hmm.
so funny thing is my son ended up being his, and her son ended up
Right.
not being his.
Oh wow. Okay. I missed that part.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh
yeah.
my goodness. And he
so
just knew. Right.
so
Okay.
yeah, so that ended
Mm,
up being an interesting scenario, but
right.
he was never really involved until I'm gonna
Mhm.
say Jabari got to probably about like 6 or 7 months. His
Oh,
mom was there from the moment I sent her pictures
mhm.
saying, "Hey, I have a baby
Right.
and I'm pretty certain it's your son's." From the
Right.
moment I was sending her pictures
Mhm.
until, to the moment that my son passed away, like she was
Right.
there.
It's
I can
usually like that with the
honestly,
mom, with the
she
moms of the
was
son. Yeah.
yeah, she
Mm,
was there. She was there for me and my sons, not
mhm.
just, her grandson, but she was very
Right.
involved with my older son as well. So that
Oh,
was a blessing to have, being that, his dad was not around.
right. Okay. Okay. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
And
Okay.
and then actually so that's how we lead up into what, caused me to write the
Right.
book. Um
Right. I
the
know that.
weekend that the guy, because I'm not giving him any power by naming
Right.
him.
None at
But the
all.
weekend that the guy, the weekend that he murdered my son, he was
Mhm.
actually supposed to be going to stay with his grandmother. because I
Mm.
was in the process of secretly trying to get out of that
Right.
situation.
You were getting
So
your
I
money
had,
together
you
and
know,
stuff.
after everything that I had went through in that short amount of time with this man, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I know I'm better than this. My children deserve
Right.
better. I deserve better. I gotta go. And
Right.
I was trying to figure it out. I had a game plan. Like my youngest
Hmm.
son was gonna go live. Jabari was gonna go live with his grandmother. I was gonna
Right.
take myself and my oldest son, and I was gonna go into a shelter
Right.
and just try to get onto somebody's housing list or something from
Right.
there.
You were getting things in
And
order. Right.
I was getting things in order because I knew I had to go.
Right.
And it's funny how they say like that unwritten, that unspoken, because I
Hmm.
think he knew. I think he felt the energy that something was about
Yeah.
to happen, and he was
Hmm.
like, before she go, wait a minute, let me do
Right.
something that he thought I would never recover from,
Right. And that's what he did. What he
and
thought
that's what
you
he
wasn't
did.
gonna recover from, or God said
He
otherwise. So yeah.
It took me 16 years. This year made
Mm.
17 years. June 8th, 2024 made
Okay.
17 years since
Mm.
Jabari's death.
I can
And
only
it
imagine.
it took me this long to get to this place. Like people, no
Hmm.
one understands
Right.
unless someone has been through it. Like
Hmm.
there's women that may have been through miscarriages.
Right.
I've been through a
Hmm.
miscarriage. That's
Right. Not
traumatic.
the
Trust me.
same.
Right. Trust me, that
Hmm.
is very traumatic.
Right.
But to have spent time with a child, to
Right.
engage with this child, I had three
Mm.
years,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and
Right.
then to have that taken away from me,
Hmm.
I almost lost my mind. I did lose my mind for a while. Like I
Right.
lost my mind for a while. I lost myself. I lost who I
Hmm.
was. Like I was on autopilot.
I'm sure. I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were. You was hanging on by a thread, and God just
Hanging
kept
on
it to
by a
right.
pure thread. And
Right.
I know there's probably some people that, you know, my moods, my actions,
Right.
have
Hmm.
hurt. And
Right.
and while we're on this public platform, let me just take the time to say right now to
Hmm.
anyone who I may have hurt
Right.
over the last 16 years with
Hmm.
my mood swings, my ups and downs, my ins and outs. You may hear from me today, you may not hear from me for 6, 7 months. Let me
Hmm.
just let you know now that I have had to find me again.
Yes.
And you truly cannot pour from an empty cup.
No.
And I've been empty for 17 years, excuse me, 16 years, because this year, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say 16 years because it started last year. I woke up one
Hmm.
day and I was just like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I
Right.
don't want to keep beating myself up for something that wasn't my fault and that,
Right.
essentially really wasn't in my control.
Right. And I know you said your son in the book. I know you mentioned that your other son, felt that he blamed himself a little bit
He
too.
absolutely blamed
And
himself.
that's nothing that a child should have had to go through.
No,
That
no,
not
and
at
he
all.
still blames himself. He'll be
Mhm.
23 this year, and he
Okay.
still deals with that guilt.
I'm sure. I'm
And
sure.
so that was the other part of why I really felt like, okay, you gotta snap out of
Right.
this funk, because I
Right.
wanted to show him that,
Hmm.
yes, we have lost Jabari, but he's
Right.
always going to be in our hearts. As my
Hmm.
necklace says, as
Right.
I said, when I saw this charm, it spoke to me so deeply.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
always going to be in our hearts. I
Right.
mean, the best thing we can do now is live for him,
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, honor his life,
honor
like
his
continue
life.
to live on, right, and share
Yes,
his story. Let make
yes,
people be aware, so that you can
yes,
help someone else, prevent them from going through something like this. Because sadly to say, things like that still happen. Now, 16 years later, 17 years later, things like that are still going on right now.
absolutely.
You see so many stories in the news of, so and so, the child, either the mother did something with the child, or like you said, the boyfriend or whoever, and they're innocent children, and it's just
Absolutely.
sad. It's
And
just sad.
that really speaks to the mentality of how sick someone
Mhm.
can be.
And
You
twisted.
know,
Mhm.
that's why they really, really need to do more about mental health.
Yes,
Like, they
yes.
really need to do more about mental health. When
Mhm.
someone shows signs,
Right,
any type of sign that something isn't right,
right,
someone needs to have a light bulb go off in their head that says, you know what, ding, wait a minute.
right. Let me check on
Let
that
me
person. Yeah.
check on that person. Let me make a phone call that may help
Mhm.
save someone else's life.
Right,
Because
exactly.
things like this, it didn't just affect my life.
Right.
It affected my other son. I now
Mhm.
have another son who's
Right.
14,
I
be
can say
15 this year. He
mhm.
never met his brother.
Right.
Everything that he has heard about his brother has related to this grief and this loss
Right.
his other brother and I carry.
Right. So he had to come into this world hearing about
So
that.
he's had to
Right.
come into this
Yes.
world hearing about that. So now
Right.
he carries that.
It trickled
You know,
down to him.
it
Right.
trickles down to him. Not only that, the guy that did this, he had kids. So
Right.
his
Exactly. Lost.
children are affected.
Right.
His family
Right.
is affected. Like there's
Exactly.
this it's like you said, it's a trickle down effect. There are so many
Right.
people that have been affected by this tragedy
Exactly.
besides myself.
Exactly. It's
Like,
a
it
ripple
hurts
effect.
me the most
Of
because
course.
I gave birth to him. You know what I
Right.
mean? I carried him. I was his
Mhm.
mom. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
so that the pain that I feel,
Mhm.
there's no comparison to it.
Of course, none at all. There's nothing that can compare to losing a child. I couldn't even imagine. I have three. They're all grown and two grandkids. I couldn't even imagine going through something like that. And just the fact that you're still here. You God gave you strength from somewhere. You're still here. I won't say from somewhere, but He gave you strength because you're still here. And I know as a mom, we do things. We try to be strong for our children. Because know you, and somewhere down in there, I know you had to dig that strength in there and say, okay, I gotta be there. It's not just about me no more. Oh, I know.
I had to, you know what? I'm gonna say I honestly had to like kill the old me
Hmm.
and birth a newer version of myself.
Right. Exactly.
You know, like I'm still me. There's things
Hmm.
about me that I wouldn't change, you
Right.
know, because again, if you don't experience something, you don't have something to
Hmm.
talk about.
Right.
You don't have
Exactly.
you don't have a gem to share with someone
Hmm.
else if you've
Exactly.
never gone through anything.
Right. You never have a
You
story
know,
to share, nothing to help anybody else with if you haven't gone through anything. So that's,
right.
the things that we go through, they help and strengthen us and build our muscle, you know.
Absolutely.
Right. So, sometimes like, okay, well, why am I going through this? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? But it happened to build you, to make you stronger. It didn't kill you, unfortunately, and things, no offense to your son, but it made you stronger. It still brought you here. It kept you here, to be there for your other son and for the rest of your family. It made you stronger. So, God gave you a new purpose in your life for something that He needed
Absolutely.
you to do. Now with your book and, with your other things that you're doing on your platform, God gave you a new purpose in life, something else for you to do, like you said, to help someone else, prevent them from going through some things that you went through. And
Absolutely.
let's elaborate on that a little bit, if you don't mind. Because I know you have like a workbook and some things that you're helping people to work through with the grief, and we have some other people in the Facebook audience and the YouTube audience that also work with grief issues and things like that as well, like Miss Kenitra Mason. She's also on here on Facebook as well. But just elaborate on that a little bit for me.
So actually I have it with me. So 2024 I decided that one of the things that would help me really recover and rediscover who I am
Hmm.
was to get back to the root of loving myself.
Right. Hmm.
And so I started with my brand, which is Just Love Self, which is
Hmm.
inspired by Jabari. Actually, it's his initials. His
Right.
name is Jabari Lanier Stocks. And
Mm.
so that's where you have the Just Love Self. That's where that comes from.
Okay.
And, that was one of those things that when I was having conversations with God and just coming up, trying to come up with an idea of what would make sense, Just Love
Hmm.
Self kept coming to me. And so I was
Right.
like, okay, I got to go with that. And so
Right. Hmm.
I started working with a publisher in the beginning of this year, and I was like, I want to do workbooks. I want to do self help type journals, and I want to do
Hmm.
something different from what I've seen. Like I've seen a lot of
Right.
great stuff. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but
Of course.
I feel like there's more to self love and self care than just having a spa day or going to
Hmm.
get my nails done or hanging out with my girlfriends. Like, no,
Right.
let's dig a little deeper. Let's get to the root of what it
Right.
really takes, to
Hmm.
consistently reaffirm self love for yourself. And
Right.
so came up with the self love challenge 30 days to a better you,
Hmm.
and every couple of days in here, I'm gonna flip it around for you
Sure. Hmm.
because I'm so proud of this.
I am
Shout
proud of
out
you
to my
too.
designer, Nalani Butler of Book
Okay. Yes, I met her.
Publishing.
Yes. Okay.
Love, love, love Book Butler Publishing.
Hmm.
Published my workbook, using their
Okay.
platform. Super
Hmm.
grateful to them. But let me show you this. When I
Okay.
tell you Homegirl did her thing with this workbook. So
Okay.
first of all, the first page alone, like,
Hmm.
can you see it? Sorry. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you're fine.
First page alone, I was like, ooh, I love the signature. Like, that's so
Right.
cute.
Hmm.
And then like the little hearts,
I
because
love the hearts.
because
Yeah.
it's about love, so we had to have the hearts in there. But like she really did her thing with the
Hmm.
graphics in this book. I don't know how well you can see,
Yeah, I can see
but
the different sections and things like
yeah,
that. You have it
she
broken
really did
down.
her thing. Yeah, she really did
Hmm.
her thing. So like um just to show you, for example, like day one. So okay, let me do this. Days 1 through 10. So
Hmm.
it's about journaling, practicing gratitude, plan for self-care, self-love affirmations, writing a letter to yourself, practicing positive visualization, do something kind for yourself, meditate, exercise, and set boundaries.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
all day 1 through 10.
Okay, that's a
So you see
lot
what I'm
packed
saying?
in there,
So you see
right?
what I'm saying? Like it's
Hmm.
not your typical just okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And then like so day one is about self-love affirmations. It goes
Okay.
through what, why, how, and see and grow.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
this is mine. This is my affirmations. So my
Okay.
affirmations are: I am confident in my ability to overcome all obstacles. I
Okay.
believe in myself. I am worthy
Hmm.
of respect and love. I am
Okay.
strong and brave. I am beautiful
Hmm.
and smart.
Yes, you are. Okay, that
And
is
then
good.
at the end of day one, you have a reflective practice. So
Okay.
you take some time and you reflect on how using affirmations made you feel. You write
Okay.
down any observations. So like
Hmm.
it's
Your
deep.
thought process, right?
It
It
is
makes you
it is
think,
it is a
right?
it is all about making you think, you
Hmm.
know, and
Right.
it's one of those things that you can do over and over again. I'm actually getting ready to restart it on September 1st.
Okay.
I have a group of ladies. I have three
Hmm.
ladies that have agreed to join me for my
Okay.
self-love challenge. So I'm
Well, that
very
is
excited.
good.
Shout out to them.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that. My first little group,
Hmm.
workshop. I'm going to call it a little workshop.
Right.
I'm gonna say it's more so like a focus group, because this is
Yeah.
my first one, and I really
Hmm.
want to get feedback. Like, yes,
Right.
I love it, and that's
Right.
great. Of course, I
Hmm.
should love it. You know what I mean? I put
Right.
hard work into it, so I should
Exactly.
love it. But I want to get
Right.
feedback. I want to get feedback from other ladies. I want to do the challenge,
Right.
with other ladies. I want us to engage with each other and have
Right.
discussions
And see
around
how it
self love.
helps. Right.
And
Hmm.
yeah, and that's going to help me also, for when I do my next workbook.
Right. Right.
um, it just
Okay.
helps me. Yeah, it
Mhm.
just helps
Know
me
what
like
to move forward
gauge, right,
to,
what
and right.
works, what doesn't work, and things of that nature.
Right. See what people need, what they really need to be thinking about and everything like that. I
Yes,
got you. So,
yes,
okay, so that is
absolutely.
good. That is good. Let's see, we have a few. I was trying to see if we had any more comments in there. Because we're on Facebook and YouTube. Just a few people. Some people had popped in and out, so they couldn't stay too long. But
Okay.
yeah, but there's a lot of people did pop in. Of course, they're gonna catch it on. If they catch it on the replay, y'all just put hashtag replay. Let us know that you saw it. But you can find Miss Gladys Stocks on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and at
Yes,
Just Love Self LLC.
yes,
You'll see
yes.
all the hearts, so you're gonna know it's her profile because you'll see all the hearts, the pink and
So,
black hearts.
let me tell you about that real quick, and then I know
Go
let
ahead,
you
you're
go.
fine.
So, pink represents unconditional love.
Okay.
I could not be a self love brand without
Right.
having some pink. And
Okay.
black is just one of those colors I just love. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I got to do the pink and black.
Okay, okay. I didn't realize it. Like I like pink a little bit, but I didn't. It's not one of my favorite. Well, when I was a kid, I used to say, "Oh, pink is my favorite color, hot pink." But as I got older, I kind of like veered away from it a little bit. But I didn't
Mhm.
realize, the meaning of the color pink though. So that's
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep. It
Okay.
represents unconditional love. Now you
Mm.
know.
Okay, I might need to start back wearing me a little bit more pink.
Yes.
Yes, I will. Okay, I like that. Okay, well, yes, ma'am. So, would you like to tell us any where people can find you out in public in real life anytime soon? Are you gonna be going doing any more events and things that are coming?
So I have events for September, October, and November. I'm resting in December.
Okay,
I
right.
am resting in December. So September 21st, I will be at Evolution Town Center in Laurel with
Okay,
Sparkle and Glam Fashion. It's a
okay,
fish fry. That's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
okay,
October 20th, I will be in Baltimore at the Be More Black Mall. That is
okay,
from 1 to 5.
okay.
And November, I
Hmm.
will be at the Black Authors Expo in Suitland.
Okay,
And I believe that's from 11 to 3.
okay, okay. I have to make it up to Maryland one time or sometime or another. Yes, okay. I'm all the
Yes,
way.
yes,
Yeah, 'cause yeah.
next year I am doing out of state events because I get so
Right,
much joy in going to another state and like engaging
right,
with like a different audience. It's such a
right.
great experience. I had a blast in
Mhm.
South Carolina last month,
Right.
so
Right, yeah,
I'm
'cause you did
definitely,
come to the
I'm
other one, yeah.
definitely, yeah, I'm definitely signing up for more out of state
Mhm.
events next year.
I
So
think
you'll
I'm gonna
see me a little
try
bit
it
of
too.
every. You'll
You
see
might
me a
see
little
me
bit
up there.
everywhere.
You might
Yeah,
see me in Suitland.
yeah. Hey, come on, come on. We'll be happy to
Hey, I
have
do
you.
know somebody up there now, so hey, I might come
Okay,
up.
yeah, we'll
Okay.
be happy to have you.
Okay, that sounds nice. That sounds real nice. Well, I have really enjoyed talking with you and learning all about you. And just reading your book and hearing you, talk about it and discuss everything. And I just want to just express my sincere gratitude for you coming onto my show, and
Thank
taking the
you.
time. You're welcome. And taking the time just to talk with me about it, everything, and I, for you being so strong and to be able to still, sit here and talk about it, no matter how many years it's gone by. So I want to let you know that I, don't take that lightly at all.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. So, to our viewing audience, I would like to thank you all for coming on here with us. And if anyone catches us in the replay, please put a hashtag replay. Share this out with your friends and your family. Let them know. And you can find her books. They're also on Amazon as well, right?
They are on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Target.com. But I prefer that you
To your
uh,
website.
go to follow me on Instagram,
Right.
Best Love Self
Mm-hmm.
LLC.
Right.
Go to my link tree, the
Okay.
very top link. So here's the thing I love about Ingram Spark. They have like a new e-commerce thing. or they
Okay.
gave me a link that I can
Hmm.
share where people can go directly there and they'll take care of the
Okay.
shipping and everything for me.
Oh, okay. So
Takes a
go
little
direct.
bit of weight off of my shoulders.
Right. So directly to justloveselfllc.com and go to the
No,
top.
no,
Oh,
the Instagram.
oh, go to your Instagram. Okay, go to the Instagram. Okay, I'm trying to put it
Hmm.
in the comments. Go to the Just Love. Okay, Self LC Instagram,
Yep.
IG,
And as soon as you
and
go to the link tree, like when you click where it says link tree, it is
right.
literally the first option. It says the Self Love Challenge Workbook.
Okay, option first option for the book. Okay, let's put it in the comment.
And if you want to join the group challenge, it's not too late. We're starting on
Mm,
September 1st. I
oh,
opened it up to 10 ladies. I only
okay.
have 3 ladies, so I can accept more ladies. If you're interested, just shoot me a message and I will send you next steps.
Okay, great. Yeah, I put it on there so it'll be on there on Facebook and it'll be on the YouTube link, so they'll be able to see it and they know they can go there straight to your IG page.
Okay.
So, yes, ma'am. So y'all hear her. You only have a few more spots left. She's only taking 10 ladies, so y'all better jump on it. You know, you got and it starts September 1st, so you got about a good 11 days.
And I'm providing those ladies a free PDF copy of my
Okay.
workbook. So like
Oh, okay.
so you can print it at home if you want, or if you prefer
Mhm.
a physical copy because it's so cute,
Right.
then you can just go to the website and purchase it.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, that's a nice option. So if they want to try it and they can't quite, get it yet, that's good. That's a good option. Let them know that you just really want to help people. So that is a good thing. So you guys, reach out to Miss Gladys Stocks, author Gladys Stocks, and just let her know, and she will be happy to help you all. But again, thank you all so much for coming on here with us. And just a couple of announcements real quick. We are having the All Words Matter Black Author Book Expo, and it will be coming in October the 12th, here in Aiken, South Carolina. And there is a flyer for that. And you, like I said, reach out to me. Go to my website if you would like to participate as a vendor, whether or not it's an author or just a food vendor. We need food vendors. We need different types of crafts, arts and crafts. It's a fall fest and a book expo, so we need lots of different types of vendors. So if you would like to participate as a vendor or an author vendor, please reach out. Go to the website harabedstocks.com for more information. And I would like to thank you all for tuning in with us. And you all have a blessed and wonderful night. And you hang around for just a second, Miss Gladys.
All righty.
All right.